colleagues, peers, leaders. I have been working with a lot of you for many years. And I want to give you a little bit of perspective. I was in the military, Canadian Forces, and one thing that we learned a lot was leave no man behind and educate and elevate. This was two principles that were embedded inside of us, and doesn't matter what profession you're in, you have to abide by them. And as we're thinking about Nkst, and we were thinking about what is this all about, and some of you might know I was a co-founder of CYBERSECURITY. We had a good exit, we moved on, and there's a number of things on the go. Just in this room alone right now, the amount of talent that exists, so much to learn from each other. I have been to many events. I have sat down with many of you one by one, had good conversations. I am always learning. Good leaders are always learning. And as a result of it, what we want to do was the next platform, and I want to give you a little bit more specific details of what it actually means. At the end of the day, you are all here. You have knowledge to give. We can meet once, twice, 3, 4 times a year, and we would walk away. You would connect, and you would have a discussion, and at the same time, you're trying to solve your own problems on a regular basis. There are leaders in this room right now that have implemented a very good data strategy. They have implemented how to do proper DLP controls. There are people in here who have done a proper segmentation project. I've been doing consulting for so long, I've been to so many different environments, and we see challenges across the board. I have no shame sitting down with any of the sponsors or vendors out there and learn. I sat down many times with Netscope, CrowdStrike, Rubrik. I try to teach myself and learn so I can be in a better position to be able to give guidance and advice. So what we are doing is, and I am putting this out there, is something very critical. You as a community, you will be paid to be part of a knowledge sharing where you will come together. We are going to be having all the subjects and all the key content that needs to be put together. Your expertise is no longer where you can sit down and we talk over one another and you'll give a little bit of surface level information. If you have done a proper program on something, let's bring it forward. Let's put it on, give your experience. We are going to have sessions and classes where you as the executive, if it's about leadership, if it's about a specific problem that you solved, or if anything else. So imagine a Nkst platform, you're part of it, you're going to be giving that knowledge back to the community, and you will get compensated as part of it. When we are going to be designing the white papers, because I can tell you, I have sat down, and there's some people in this room, maybe as of last week, me as a consultant trying to figure out what should be the right thing to do. We will be documenting them on white paper. The white paper will be in collaboration by domain expertise, and you will be compensated for that. We are going to be issuing a framework. This is just to give you a little bit of context and perspective. At the same time, this is just one entity. We are going to be collaborating with our peers like Narient and Privacy Horizon. Guys, you guys are really good at privacy. You are really good at doing data and helping understand business intelligence. There is a person here, Toronto Board of Trade, I'm just pointing at him right now. He's done a lot of work. We have Amir, who has done a lot of work at API security. I learned from these individuals, not just they were my customers, but I also learned back from them. We will be having a separate entities and separate conferences where they are going to bring their knowledge forward to say, how did they solve that problem in a smaller group? So as a result of it, when we think about Nkst, you have different pillars. You have education, which you're going to give your time. Let's be fair, right? You're going to give your time. Let's be fair. You'll get compensated for that. The advantage for that is you're motivated. You're part of it. And at the same time, when you want to learn something, you have access to a complete platform which you can draw from. We're not trying to compete with Gartner. There's absolutely no way. They're a billion-dollar company. But at the same time, we're sitting in Toronto here with a group of us who know each other, who will know each other more, And why don't we develop something with the people who are trying to solve this problem on a daily basis? We're going to do that together. There's healthcare sector, there's critical infrastructure, tier 2 financial. There's so many things. It's important for us to come together and maybe we can share knowledge that way. Except the only difference is Nkst is going to be where it's going to give you back as well. And I know it sounds a little bit unrealistic, but guess what? When you start to put the things in motion, we're not saying we're going to publish like 30 different white papers, specific problems that we're going to work towards and solve. I know for a fact, for example, Brendan, he's here, he's from Paulton Health. He has done some really good job in KPIs and trying to figure out how to do it. You all have some sort of KPIs. Trust me, I know that. But what is that was different that is very well accepted? What was the framework? What do we use? Let's document that. We have individuals here, Afzal, who actually works in the credit unions, and they have very strong process in place around audit assurance and compliance, meaning auditing the controls. Let's work with them and understand what that framework should look like. Let's understand and learn. So this is how we're going to get better. Oftentimes, when I get into meetings, people say, benchmark my industry, benchmark my healthcare, benchmark my financial. Why do you really want to always benchmark yourself to another? Why don't you want to benchmark against another industry who has done something a little bit better? If there are tier 1 financial institutions who have tried to solve a problem and they're, to be frank with you, the minute you even try to download a file on your way out, you're going to get a notification saying, you took this, you did that. I understand this cannot be applied to a healthcare setting, but at the same time, what is that framework that was used? Maybe you can leverage a part of it. So you should look at other industries. So we are going to mix and merge to say what other industries are doing a little bit better, right? So with that, I hope there's a little bit of clarity. This is our first event, just to be frank with you, and I know it's a little bit, everybody's jam-packed in here, and I apologize for that. Believe it or not, we had to turn away like 50 or 60 people, but we have our healthcare event coming up. We are going to have our privacy and data with Narian and privacy and also some of the other entities as well, which is going to be about privacy legislation, breach coach. What does that mean? This is a very important subject. Some of us just don't take it seriously, all right? And then slowly, we have an event in Dubai, we have an event in Houston. So there's a lot of things going on. We're trying to bring people together, but the platform will allow you to collaborate in a very positive manner. And if you are going to give into it, I promise you, you will get back as part of it as well. Not just in knowledge, but also where it's compensated model, because that's just the way the world works. I'm be very frank with you, right? We also have our sponsors here. Look, you can call them vendors, you can call them partners, they got knowledge to give. Simple as that. These are billion-dollar companies that didn't just make it up there for no reason. They got solutions that work, and it's up to you to understand and educate and evaluate. So with that, I don't want to take up too much time. There's a lot more to come, but I hope gives you a little bit of clarity. Myself and Farouk, we've been talking, just so you guys all know, he was the original founder of CyberX, not to create any controversy here. But I think it's important to clarify. Sometimes, there's something called a fierceful conversation. In life, you need to have a fierceful conversation. And it's okay for us to be open and honest with each other if we want to work together and learn from each other. And that's what we're going to be about. We're going to talk to each other. We're going to be open to each other. We're going to debate it out. There's healthy debates. There's good debates. There's hugs and kisses, and we move on, right? That's just the way it works. But at the same time, myself and Farouk and some of the other members, we've been working on this for some while. We're going to learn. It's not going to be perfect. And we will grow together as part of it. But I promise you, we're here on the stage. A year from now, we will come back together, and I can tell you one thing for sure. You will have more knowledge and an appreciation of what it will look like and what role you played. Your role, you got to play it. That's just simple as that. I want to learn. I'm always learning. In fact, I'm going to talk to a couple of people today about certain problems that I'm trying to solve that I'm struggling with, right? Anyways, with that, I want to thank you all. Thank you very much.